Hey everybody, Mike Shreeve here. How are you doing? Welcome to today's Facebook Live. As you can see, we've got some cool stuff going on. I'm really excited about this. We're trying all sorts of things. This is Be Live, and then we're also using Live Leap to try and syndicate all this. We are making a big push in 2019 for a lot of organic traffic just like this. So you're going to see an organic content and things like that. You're going to see a lot of this kind of thing popping up, and that's because we want to have better relationships with our customers. We've mostly been in the past a sort of paid traffic company where it's, hey, we're a complete stranger. Here's a Facebook ad. See you later, right? And that's sort of the company that we grew. We're going to be doing a lot more paid content like this. And as we do that, I'll share what's working and share what we're finding along the way that hopefully you can use for your business as well. And honestly, if I can do this, if I can get on these videos and do all this kind of stuff, you can absolutely do this. I get very nervous when I'm talking on video. You can't tell already, the nervous laughter, the very quick speaking. But I think if you show up to these things ready to serve, it helps you in the end, and it allows you to attract really good customers, clients, all that kind of good stuff. So today, what I want to talk about is the guaranteed success question. So this is a question that you can ask yourself, regardless of what service you are providing. It's the perfect kind of question that allows you to frame and build the rest of your messaging. It allows you to frame and build the rest of even how you distribute that messaging. It is a single question on which you can hinge a lot of the efforts that you are undertaking to get a client. In other words, by asking this question, not only will you be more specific and more targeted and more clear for your own self in who it is that you're targeting and what you do for them, but it also allows you just to simplify everything. And I'm going to give you a few examples here on how this question can help you to simplify. But the question is very simple, and this is one that you ask yourself. Okay, the question is, if you could only get paid after you got your client's results, what characteristics and qualities would they need to possess before you'd say yes to working with them? So this is a question that I learned from actually more than one of my mentors. So I don't know the exact source where they got it, but this is one that I use often whenever I'm trying to figure out how to raise my prices, how to package my services, who to talk to in order to land good clients. And I want to break this question down and walk you through why this is such a powerful exercise to work on internally. So if you could only get paid after you got your client's results. So first off, that first bit, that's an important question to consider deeply about what it is that you are offering. Imagine for a second that the only way you ever got paid was after you delivered the service and got a client a result. Does your current service, the thing that you're offering right now, does it actually provide a result? If not, you have to ask yourself, A, am I charging people for nothing? Am I just taking people's money because I can get them to say yes? Or B, is there a way that I can strengthen what it is that I'm doing so that the result is amazing, that I would feel confident if I had to? Now, obviously don't do this, but if I had to, I would work for free, knowing I would get paid at the end because my result would be so incredible. That in and of itself is a mental exercise that's worth doing. Now, the next question after that, or the next part of this question, is what characteristics and qualities would the client need to possess before you would agree to that scenario? Now, you probably in the past, I think even in our open group, somebody posted something, it was like a meme of do this thing and get free exposures. And the person says, well, that's great because my rent is 800 exposures. Now, again, I'm not saying to do stuff for free. I'm saying to run through this mental exercise. And what you will find is that it clarifies, sharpens, and helps you to create better, more powerful offers and shapes your messaging. So let's say that you are a blog post writer. We have the Happy Writer going on right now. If you, it's one of our best programs, teaches people how to write $200, $400 blog posts. We're after February 1. We're never going to launch it again. This is the last final time we're going to be doing that. The blog posts that we teach people how to do in Happy Writer, those are the kind of blog posts that get the kind of results that in this mental exercise, you would feel confident about saying, yeah, you know what, I could probably set this up to where I would, I could get paid after I get the results. Again, I'm not recommending that you do that, but that's the kind of quality of blog posts that we're talking about. If that is where you build the foundation of your business, for example, in the No Pants Project, I can take people, I can teach them how to find a package that would qualify for this kind of situation where it's so powerful, delivers results. I can teach them how to automate their client getting, and I can teach them how to create passive income. That's the core program here in the No Pants Project. When you start there, when you start from what is it that I'm offering, it then transitions, the marketing and sales environment then transitions from you having to beg people to work with you to you determining who is most qualified to get these results. And then that gives you instant clarity on who you should be talking to, who should and shouldn't buy your process and products and services, and how to speak about what it is that you're doing. So let me give you an example. What characteristics and qualities would my clients need to possess before I'd say yes to this sort of fictitious example where I'd only work for free and then I'd only get paid if they got results? Well, in my freelancing business, I have this concept where if you work with me as a freelancer, over the next year, I'll create $1 million in additional revenue. That's sort of the promise of what I do in my freelancing business. I have various packages that offer that. Now, the characteristics and qualities of someone who I would feel confident to work for a year for free before I ever got paid, and I was only paid off of results, they're pretty high, right? They need to have a certain audience size. They need to have a certain email list size. They must already have intellectual property available for me to tweak and test and grow and da-da-da. They need to have a massive budget for ad spend. There's a whole long list of things that I require for someone to be, quote unquote, sure bet in that particular service. Now, I go to the market with that confidence. I go to the market with that confidence of saying, I can say things like, here's what I help people do. I help freelancers, for No Pants, I help freelancers find their superpower, establish automated client getting, and add passive income to their business. I can say that with confidence because, and especially in 2019, we're really going to be working on this in 2019, because I have very clear characteristics and qualities of the people that I know will succeed within that particular thing that I'm selling. Now, when you go out to do whatever kind of marketing or whatever kind of content sharing, or whether you're doing cold emails, whether you're sharing on LinkedIn, whether you do whatever it is that you're doing, now all you have to do is talk to those people about the thing that you do. It's not about convincing people to do something and trying to trick them into buying your thing. Instead, you go out and it's like, hey, are you someone who has an audience of 100,000 people? Do you have an email list of 25,000 people? And do you have a budget of $10,000, $15,000 a month? If so, I can actually take your business and add an additional $1 million a year in essentially passive income. We got to build it together, but then once it's up and running, we'll do about $1 million in revenue. That is not a sleazy pitch. I'm not doing a marketing show. I'm not, putting on this front and having to worry about what does my branding look like and what is da. I just have simple conversations with the right people. How I've identified who that right person is I've asked myself the question, what characteristics and qualities would they need to possess before I would even think about working for them for free, only getting paid on results. Now, again, the purpose of this exercise is not to figure out who you're going to go work for free for. The purpose of this exercise is for you to get clarity around who it is that you serve and what exactly it is that you provide that would merit that ability to make those promises, those claims, to be more clear about who it is you should work for. Let me give you the opposite of this idea. The opposite of this idea is for you to go out into the marketplace and say, I'm a blog post writer and I'll pretty much work with anyone. Raise your hand if you've ever done something like that. I'm a photographer, I'll pretty much work with anyone. I'm a designer, I'll pretty much work with anyone. What happens? What happens is you experience basically a sliding scale of all of the different types of clients that there are. So let's say that you're a blog post writer and you're going out there, and I'm saying this because we're right now selling the Happy Writer, and you're a blog post writer and you get a client, and one client has a big audience. Every time they take your blog post that you write and create, they plug it into their system, they get tons of traffic, and they love you to death because every time they pay you money, it makes them a bunch of money. On the flip side, let's say that you have a client who's just starting a blog. Let's say they even pay you the same amount of money as this other client of yours who has a big audience and everything. What happens? They pay you, let's say it's $200 for a blog post. They pay you the $200, they plug it into their system, and what happens? Nothing. Then what happens after that? They're disappointed in you. They say, oh my gosh, you must not be a good blog post writer. I can't do this. There's tension, there's stress, there's all of these different things going on. The reason that that's happening is because you accepted a client who didn't fit the criteria of the question that you see on the screen right now. You took a client who didn't possess the characteristics and qualities that they would need in order for you to be the most successful. It's like I'm saying all the time, and people probably get sick of me saying it. A freelancer is only as good as the client allows them to be. Therefore, you as the freelancer, as the business owner, you have to be the one who establishes what precisely those characteristics and qualities are that will allow you to deliver the best result. You have to get out of the employee mentality. The employee mentality is that you come to a job situation and you fit yourself into their corporate culture. You fit yourself into their job description. As a business owner, though, it's your job, it's your role, it's your responsibility to flip that and say, I'm not trying to fit into your stuff. You are trying to buy a service from me, and I recommend packaging those services. And in the No Pants Project Core program, we teach you how to do that and how to set it up and how to price it appropriately, all that kind of good stuff. But ultimately, it's your responsibility to come up with who is and isn't qualified for the thing that you do. Some of you are familiar with copywriting and all the great big copywriters and how they get these incredible results, and you're out there hitting this, pounding the sand and taking these clients, and you're like, why can't I get the same results? I'm learning all I can about copywriting. I'm improving my craft. You want to know the secret to really good copywriters? When I started to buy into masterminds and was starting to sort of work in these inner circles of people, like at Agora and, these big companies that do multi-million-dollar launches, you know what I found out? The good copywriters only take the clients they know for a fact they can hit a home run with. That's the secret. The secret is that the copywriters who've been in the game long enough, they can tell the difference because they've identified the characteristics and qualities of a good client. They can tell the difference between someone they're going to be really, really successful with and somebody they aren't. And they only take the people who they're going to be very, very successful with. Okay? So my friends, that's it for today's little piece of content. I highly recommend that you take some time to consider this question. If you could only get paid after you got your client's results, what characteristics and qualities would they need to possess before you'd say yes to working in that situation. Within that question, you can roll that question around in your head for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it will continue to chip away and shape what you offer, who you offer it to, and even how you speak your service offering, right? You don't have to tie this up in a bow of like fancy headlines and stuff. You could literally just say, if you have these qualities and attributes, I can help you to achieve this thing. Now, big caveat, I'm going to say it again, just in case people like cut part of what I say and see, Mike told you to work for free. I'm not saying to work for free. I'm saying that if you build a business where this is the sort of operating procedures that you could operate under these circumstances, what you will do is build a solid foundation so that when you charge, again, like we talked about yesterday, you have a justification for charging the higher price because what you offer is a higher likelihood of success than other people who are trying to undercut prices. All right, my dear friends, last thing I want to say here is I know that we have a lot of people in our audience. We've got 18,000 people on our open community, 65,000 people on our email list, et cetera, et cetera. Some of you are going to watch this video, and I want you to know that we as a company, the No Pants Project company, we have listed characteristics and qualities for all of our different programs. So if you're just sitting there and you're like, I just need some help. I don't even know what help I need. I want you to reach out to, I'm going to flash it on the screen here with my new toy I got. This is Be Live. It's a really fun, cool Facebook Live tool. Reach out to Kaylee at the nopantsproject.com. Have a conversation. Send her an email and say, look, here's where I am. Here's where I want to go. Here's sort of a little bit about me. What does the No Pants have that I fit in that could, I'd have a super high likelihood of getting results with? And what you'll find is, one, I think it's just a good exercise to go through that process just to see what it's like to be a client on the other end of a process where a company knows exactly who will or won't succeed, to see how non-smarmy and spammy. We don't need tricks. We don't have to do the dumb script where you just like whoever speaks first loses or whatever those silly tricks are. And then two, we probably have something that fits within your set of characteristics, qualities, experience, etc. And because of that, we have programs that are shaped to help that specific type of person to get those results. Okay, my dear friends, that's it for today. I need to go pick up my kiddo from school. Hopefully this was fun. We're going to be doing a lot of these. They'll get better. They'll improve. This is just the first couple. I'm hopefully going to be hitting these every single day. So keep your social media notifications on and all that kind of good stuff. We'll be getting better and improving as I get feedback from you on what you want to hear and what will help you to achieve. Ultimately, our goal in the No Pants Project is to help you to achieve 6 figures or more per year as a service provider. And any way that we can help to do that is what we ultimately want to do. So my friends, that's it for me for today. I will see you all tomorrow.